And welcome to another exciting installment of the Terrorisk podcast.
Thank you for having us here, Chris. I'm happy to be back again. Another exciting installment of the Terrorisk podcast.
Yeah, I'm thankful to have you guys aboard, as per usual.
I'm here with my co-host, in fact, primary host, Chris Kim.
Yeah.
Additionally, off camera, where he belongs, is Richie. Rizzy Richie. Rizzy Rich.
Hey, how's it going?
Rizzy Rich.
Yeah, we just we've been trying. Well, I've been trying to establish this new routine of us like cooking, and when we meet up,
that's a great idea. It's a lot better than buying the same food again and again. Right? It's a lot more varied, better on the wallet,
better for you. Mm-hmm. It's just and it's a good time. I mean, like just cooking's a good time for me regardless. So it's like whatever.
Yeah, same.
So yeah, we had some very rich burritos. We're gonna have to perfect it over time. Like everything we do, like the pork belly, the burritos. I want to do ribeye next. That we could definitely fuck up if we don't do it right. That's gonna be delicious. I'm gonna get some fat fucking, or maybe I'll get New York strip steak. You prefer ribeye or strip?
Ribeye, I think.
Yeah, ribeye with the bone in.
Yeah,
more flavor. So yeah, that's gonna be neat.
Who drank the grapefruit before?
What?
Who drank the grapefruit high noon? No, does anyone want to try it? That's what I meant to say.
I'll try it. Whatever.
I'll try it.
Yeah, if you didn't try it before. Whoever didn't try it before.
It's pretty good.
And that's Richie's review of a high noon flavor of the day.
Tastes like a regular seltzer, more smoky. That's it.
All right. Good to know. Well, in case you guys ever consider getting high noon seltzers, there's your review.
They're good, but kind of expensive. Like, how much was it, Carmen?
Like 20 some. Like 22 or something. For 8.
Yep. So before we started recording,
a bit too expensive for what it is. But anyway, go on, Chris.
Before we started recording, I brought up some of my experiences in the group home. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, no, we were talking about IQ, actually.
And your IQ was actually properly measured in a professional setting at the group home. Your foster care halfway house, part juvie situation you were in.
Yeah, because what they got when you're a new resident,
inmate,
a new resident, like you get the either get remanded or by the court or something, or family court decides like your parents can't take care of you, so you have to go to this fucking group home. And there's 2 phases. There's the diagnostic phase, and then there's like the quote unquote independent living phase when you're a teen. So in the diagnostic phase, they basically quarantine you. They confine you. You're not allowed to leave the grounds. You have to wear the uniforms. I'm guessing so that you could be identified, like if you ever ran away or went AWOL. And they have to do a full physical checkup, and they have to do like the IQ examination, psychological assessment.
Yeah, the psychometry.
It's actually that's a lot of resources being dumped into these fucking. I bet it's got.
It's a tremendous amount of money that goes into these things.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, actually, the youths are not lacking in resources. The youths get a lot of resources.
Dude, I got a full free fucking physical. I got basically education paid for. Fucking, and it was public schooling. You know, like after you leave the diagnostic phase, you're able to go to a public school outside of the grounds, which is like in Far Rockaway. So I went to Beach Channel High School. And yeah, my IQ came up in like 120s or something like that. I don't remember the exact number, but I didn't know if that was like, because the guy didn't act like it was high. I was like, what did I score? And then he tells me, I was like, is that high? And he's like, yeah, it's pretty high. I was like, okay. And then we moved on to like other things.
It is very high for that kind of setting. For starters, that's like 1 standard deviation higher than the Asian norm, which isn't amazing. He's right. It's not like genius stuff.
Yeah. I figured genius would be like 140 or something.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It literally is. And it gets harder and harder to get high.
Yeah.
There's a lot more. I'm probably around 120. We're probably all around 120.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm pretty dumb at times.
Maybe you're like 115 or 110.
But if what IQ really is though, it's pattern recognition, right?
Yeah, it is. It's all you did, like what, Raven's matrix.
Yeah, they have to do all those like shape, the geometric.
Oh, as a past like certain point, like past like 130, it's like okay, we can't really tell much of difference.
Yeah, it's very true. Or it definitely exists, but it gets harder to measure. It's like most useful at measuring people like 80 to 130. And within that range, it gives you actually very good information.
But it does make sense. I mean, all right, as like a class metric to be able to tell like which people are just better than others. I don't know about that, but I do think like pattern recognition is very important for survival.
It is, and it just broadly correlates with a lot of intelligence, which isn't the same thing as aptitude, but there's a bunch of correlation and overlap. The more significant thing was that within the group home, you were by far the smartest person there. And because most other people are probably, if you're generous, were scoring around 80.
Yeah.
Or 85 or 90. So you're significantly smarter than, I'm assuming, every single person there, including teachers and administrators.
I mean, yeah, the residential workers, the fucking, you call them, I think you just call them like
Wardens.
Counselors.
Okay.
Wardens. I don't know. They're basic. Yeah, they were the people who worked there, like watched over us in the apartment units, like the adult, the chaperone. They always seemed, I was always like curious about them. Like, how the fuck did you get this job?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think these people went to college. They don't seem like they did. They don't seem like they have like a.
They passed the government civil service exam, I'm sure.
Okay, that makes sense. And then they get paired with us fucking kids. I mean, some of them are very wise, but none of them were like academically inclined. You know, they were just like, one guy was from the Hard Knocks for many years. And was like, son, I saw so much shit. I was like, I'm sure you did, Charles. And then, so yeah, that's the group home experience. But as far as being the smartest one,
and the only Asian.
the
one
only
there.
Asian, yeah.
Well, you have a unique hood Asian experience.
I don't know. The hood shit kind of came even before the group home, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because that was just.
I guess more separately, it's the unusualness of you being in an institution.
I guess so. But then again, my dad was a fucking criminal. Like he's
there's definitely a family history, and your grandfather too, right?
I don't think he was like an outright criminal, but he was definitely like living outside of conventional law because I think his job was like in the merchant navy. So he would like travel a lot, go to South America a lot. You know, apparently my dad didn't see much of him. Badass.
Yeah.
That's how you raise a son. Just don't. Like,
maybe. Well, for a bunch of guys, that's been the case throughout history.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding. You shouldn't do that to your boys. But anyway, so yeah, my grandfather, I'm sure if he was confined to New York life his whole life, he probably would have been a fucking criminal.
Yeah.
Definitely a rooftop Korean type, I bet. Let me get the matches. Yeah, so being the only Asian in the group home, that wasn't fun sometimes, but other times,
I'm sure it wasn't.
I mean, but you got to understand, it's not like school. Because like when you get bullied in school, it's like, all right, well, at least we get to leave school at the end of the day and I'll go home. From there, it's like you try to start shit with someone, and like
you're living with them.
Yeah. So it's like I think the people were a lot more like
wary of it or more careful.
I mean, don't get me wrong, there was some grimy shit going on. Like my roommate, one of my roommates, by the time I was in like independent living, he had brought his PlayStation 3, and it got stolen, and they were trying to pin it on me. And he just knew it wasn't me. He was like, but he was.
Oh, let's blame the Asian guy, the least likely thief within the house.
I mean, he was bummed out, but he knew it wasn't me because like, I was like, what the fuck, dude? No. I mean, of course they were gonna try that shit. Like, you bring that PS3 there, you're already stupid. Yeah, but the highlight, the crazy, you could say the what's the word? The climax of my time at the group home was definitely like way at the end. It was my last weekend there. So the deal was, by then I was getting visitation with my grandma, so I was able to like go back to Staten Island at my grandma's place, see my old friends again, hang out over the weekend. So on the summer, on the last weekend there, I was on the 8 train with the other boys who also got their weekend visitation. So we were all just like stoked to leave St. John's for the weekend. A fight broke out. Like a bunch of Hispanic young men jumped another Hispanic young man. One single Hispanic young man, and then they stabbed him up everywhere. Like, I mean everywhere, in the neck, the chest, the shoulder, the armpit, the dick, everywhere.
Jesus Christ.
He was poked the fuck up. And like, he didn't collapse right away. Like, first they all stabbed him. They all jumped him, stabbed him. He was trying to fight back. And then before you know it, the doors open up and they all just jet. They timed it right. Like, they knew like right before the stop, they were going to get him. So they all jet. And the kid who got stabbed, he starts like stumbling around on the train. It's leaking everywhere, like dripping blood.
Jesus Christ.
And you see like the trail like everywhere he was walking, and then and he walks out of the train onto the platform and just collapses. And then I watched him like bleed out in some crying girl's arms. By the time the cops came, like he was gone. So then, like, you know, I was like, oh shit.
Do you know any of the murderers or the guy that was killed?
Absolutely not. No, it's Rockaways in the summertime, and that beach is fucking like it's off the chain in the summer because that's where all the inner city hoodlums go to the beach. And yeah, so I was like, well, that's fucking crazy. So I just skateboarded to the next stop, got on the train, and then like made my way home. And I told my friends, I was like, you guys aren't gonna believe this, but I just like watched the kid get stabbed to death, and they were like, what? That's crazy. Yo, let's get drunk. I was like, all right, you know. But and so I never really talked about it because I was the only one there, and there's the kids at the group home, but I don't talk to them anymore that were there with me on the train. I mean, some of them like can confirm the story. They're like, yeah.
Were you friendly with any of them, or you all like kept your distance?
No, we were for the most part we were friendly. Yeah, because we lived together and shit. And as long as we weren't like doing fucked up shit, yeah.
But you weren't close. Were you close friends with anyone at the time?
Of course. I mean, not like close because you want to be, but close because you're gonna.
Proximity,
be
yeah.
Like it gets to a point where you end up at one of their houses at some point, or you know they go to your house, or it's like, yeah, just you just get close with the boys you live with. But yeah, that was an event, and I was supposed to go back like because that happened on a Friday. I was gonna be at my grandma's for Saturday, and then Sunday evening I come back to the group home so I could spend the week whatever. But that Sunday I just didn't go back. I just didn't fucking go back. And like, I was like, yo, look, these people, I only have 1 week left. That was my last week. I was going to go back for one more week and then be done. But I was like, nah, fuck you guys. Keep your fucking week. I'm not fucking doing another week. Like after that, like you're lucky I don't fucking make this a problem, you know? Cause I used it. I was like, the fact that this happened, like, you know, like I could probably use that to get my week, you know? And I did. So I got out. So that was my last
You made
week.
the most out of the experience.
Yeah.
You
that
had
was
a
it.
week off.
I mean,
yeah, last week out.
my social worker on site called me and she was like, she spoke to me. She was like, so how are you? And I was like, yeah, I'm not coming back. I don't want to come back. She's like, all right, that's cool, man. You could stay there and we'll just handle the rest of your discharge on our end. I was like, good. And I hung up. I was like, that was it. And I never went back. I even left all my shit there and I didn't have much shit. I just, a few clothes. I was like, fuck it.
Yeah, it's understandable. Nothing much to get, and also just free of this tiresome period of your life, I suppose.
Yep. So yeah, that was fucking an event, and that was basically the start of my adult life. Because right after that, I was like,
You want to get out and start living.
yeah.
Like a lot of people who stalled out for a couple of years, myself included, living in your parents' home or whatever, before actually really starting your life.
Well, that's actually the interesting part. So my friends,
like I was like 23 really when I started living my life.
I was 17 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the natural course of action was I'll be 18 in a few months. Fuck college. I'm gonna get a job. I'm gonna start fucking making money. Cause like I was like,
Yeah.
I don't care about academic success. I don't care about a career. I just want to live on my own.
Mhm.
So I did that, and my friends went to college. So I was like, well, good for them. You know, they get to live at home still, go to college, and then they'll come out and they'll make a shit ton of money. Great, good for them. That didn't happen. I was like, holy shit! Like 4 years after that, when we were all in our 20s, I looked around. I was like, you guys are fucking up bad. Like you're the ones who graduated. You're the ones who went to school. You're the ones who secured
Yeah.
your shit. What the
And
fuck?
you're
are you?
already living on your own, being responsible, living a normal adult life.
And they were legit dying. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you people? And that's around the time like I just stopped hanging out with people like locals. I was like, this is goodbye. Like we're done with this. I'm not doing this with you guys because we're too old for this shit. Literally. At least if we're gonna do this shit, like let's go to a rave or something. Like, why are we doing this shit in the woods in our 20s? Like,
yeah.
ODing and shit. Like, fuck it. So then, you know, like I started making more internet friends and, you know.
So that's really around the time you start getting really online. For a lot of other people, for me, it was like 14, 15. That extends the childhood too, having a very online dependent.
It's also, I think it's a certain type of person.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get introduced to an internet, because obviously on Facebook is one of those things, you start locally. You start with a local pool of in your friends list, but then you get added to a Facebook group by someone in your friends list. You get added to one Facebook group, and then you see that's your first experience as like in an online social media community where your names are your real names and your face is your real face, and that does things. You know, that really gets people to know each other. And like once I was in the groups, I don't know, I realized I was cooler than I thought. You know, I learned I was a lot cooler than I thought. Like I thought I was just like the Asian nerd, whatever. But it turns out different people from other parts of the world took it differently. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, you find online. From my experience of being a teenager and going online, was finding people I actually relate to after a prolonged period of thinking that I could never be around other people. There's no one like me. When I met my internet friends in real life at 20, that was the first time I really started. It really was a big moment for me because I came far more attuned with my real world, or with the real world, or with my real body. And I felt a lot more confident in my ability to interact with others.
Yeah.
I wanted to become more sociable.
Well, even amongst my internet friends, like I still think like I'm pretty one of a kind, like for
Yeah.
better or for worse, you know, it is what it is. But what I enjoyed about, you know, getting on the internet was they actually debated things. You know,
Yeah,
they debated
yeah.
things that my local friends just didn't seem to fucking ever talk about. Ever.
Everyone you knew from Staten Island or from the boys' home was not interested in debate or discussion,
Pretty much, yeah.
and they were just not intelligent.
Well, it's not. Yeah, I think that's a part of it. I hate to say it, but yeah, it's probably a big part
I
of
mean,
it.
it is a big part of it. We kind of avoid talking about it, but yeah, obviously.
Yeah, and then there was a period where it's like, I mean, I guess everyone got sucked into the great discourse eventually, but at that time,
Everyone, you know, we are first movers or earlier movers on the internet.
Yeah.
And it eventually just spread to everyone. A lot of the trend lines of the last few years have been people that were not online, getting online and being affected by internet memes, by engaging in the joys of internet or internet socialization.
precisely.
When did you first meet an internet friend in real life? Both of you guys.
Well, for me, it was that's the thing. The friend who got me into the Facebook groups, I already knew them. They were already my friend.
Yeah.
And right around that time, I got into the groups. There was only like 2-3 other Staten Islanders that were involved. So even if I didn't know them, I saw them post and I was like, "Oh, you're from Staten Island," and they'll be like, "Yeah." So I met a few that I wouldn't have met, but from the island. Lauren was one of them.
Okay. How
So
old
that's-
were you?
I was like 21, 22. She was like 19.
When was the first time you met an internet friend, Richie? How old were you?
I think it was you, 24, 23.
Really?
Oh, when I first met, yeah, 21, 22. Yeah, you're right.
Wow, for me it was 15. I met my friend Lucas in real life. And then 20 when I met a bunch of other friends in Toronto.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's also like I didn't for me, meeting an internet friend wasn't like meeting an internet friend. To me, it was just
Yeah.
like meeting a friend, because living in New York your whole life, you're constantly meeting new people anyway. You know, it just becomes like a regular thing.
Yeah, that's true. For me it was far more abrupt and more interesting of a thing to have happened.
So yeah, that was the great interneting of my life. But for all you listeners, by the way, if you're ever interested in visiting a nude beach in New York City, look up Reese Beach. That's spelled R-I-I-S Beach. Rich, could you look it up? Reese Beach.
Free speech.
Yeah. R-I-I-S. It's called the People's Beach.
R-I-S.
Yeah.
Reese Park.
Jacob Reese Park. Yeah, also known as Reese Beach.
Where is it?
Queens.
Can you pull it up on the map, sir? Yeah, it's definitely way in the Rockaway Park area, in the South End, the opposite of Far Rockaway. So, yep. So
One
that-
of you guys had to go into the bathroom.
all right.
When's the last time you were there, Chris? At Reese Beach.
Last summer, actually, my friend Dave took me there. Davey Sarnes. He was like, "Yo, let's go for a bike ride at the beach." I'm like, "Cool." I think there's a ferry that goes from there directly to Manhattan.
That's sick.
Yeah. I could be wrong about that. I don't think I am, though. I think that's how we got there, actually. We took the waterway.
That looks great. Desolate. It's nice.
Yeah, I'll take you guys. It's actually really close to me. Because if you go there from Staten Island, you just cross the Verrazano, you go up the Belt Parkway, all the way up,
Mm-hmm.
and you get there eventually. Because, like, I was thinking, when I was at
Skate Nigga Beach.
When I was at Brighton Beach with you guys, I was like, oh, they would like Reese Beach then.
Yeah, it's pretty goated.
We should go there with bikes though. We got to get Carmen a bike.
Mm.
You got a bike, right?
I have parts of a bike.
Yeah. Got to build it up while we still have
Free flowing cash.
while
Yeah.
we still have an America.
This guy's fucking outfit.
Booking.com has all kinds
No,
of
it's all
stays
good.
because
Just
some
mute it.
want a house in the
Do
desert.
yeah. I should get YouTube Premium if I'm gonna do it like this. Oh wow, a walkthrough. I swear, yo, people who wear a GoPro while doing everything are doing God's work.
Agreed. He's total perv. This guy's a fucking perv.
This guy is a fucking perv. Is she topless?
Oh no.
Is she?
Let's go back. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. This is actually good content.
This is fucking ridiculous, bro.
Yo, we were checking out Reese Beach and we looked up a video of a guy like actually walking through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You eat fried chicken.
He's just perving on bitches. Yo, could you unmute it? I want to see what this guy's saying.
Oh god.
And guess what? I'm heading to the beach.
Is he Haitian?
Beach and far away, guys.
He's got a sick
What's
car.
his name,
We're
Rich?
heading to the beach. I'm gonna
Orient,
stop and
Orient.
get some food.
What?
I don't know what kind of
Orient
food.
Freestyle Ventures, I guess.
Speaking to the mic.
Orient, I think.
I'm
Orient.
gonna stop by the
Orient. Probably.
KFC and I'm gonna grab some chicken.
O R A
While
I
on
N E.
the beach freestyle, I'm gonna do a review of the KFC in America compared to the KFC back home in
KFC, man.
Jamaica. But
Jamaica,
we'll get
man.
into the video
He's
freestyle.
Jamaican.
We'll just check out the intro. And I will just take it from there. So, now
Wait,
we're at
what is-
the KFC,
what's
now
his
we're gonna
ethnicity?
chicken, then we're gonna head
Jamaican.
to Reese Beach. Stay tuned freestyle. You know the
Yeah, he's
vibe.
Jamaican, yeah, Caribbean.
That's not Reese Beach. The fuck?
Well, it's like the Caribbean, yeah.
Yeah.
He's Jamaican, yeah.
Look up Reese Beach, New York City.
If a 3-piece meal.
Gold.
Drink? No.
This is fucking
Just
sick.
Yeah,
lock up
look
at
at his
the
video,
KFC,
look at
because
that.
the KFC is my lunch for
Yo,
the
close the
beach,
tab.
So
Close
lock
the
up the
tab.
KFC
YouTube tab.
and we're gonna
Yeah.
I want to see Reese Beach,
Reese.
Queens. Reese Beach, Queens.
Yeah, looking at it.
Yeah, these are the pictures. These are photos.
You don't have a video of Reese Beach?
We can look at it. Yeah,
It's, a
really
gay.
gay.
It is a
yeah.
gay beach, though. It is definitely.
Well, yeah, if it's a new beach, it's a public hookup beach, yeah.
It's an LGBT beach. LGBT friendly.
Down low, brother beach.
A cruising, a hookup spot beach.
Yeah. So for all you dear listeners,
It's a great headline.
black man called N-word by vendor at Jacob Reese Beach. NYC. Oh my god.
Well, let me see that one, the called it N-word.
It's like 16 minutes long.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, I don't want to see this.
This month is responsible.
No, never mind, sorry. Well, that's great content then.
Yeah, the guy, the chicken guy was good. Just perving on chicks.
It's
on
a
the
shame that it's not the same beach, but...
No, it's the same beach.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
cool.
the- it
That's
was that
sick.
beach,
That's
yeah.
great.
Yeah, can we go back to that guy actually?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, sorry.
I want to see. Yeah, that guy. I want to see what he does after he eats the fried
So we're
chicken.
heading to Reese Beach, as I said before. Far
Wait, skip
Rockaway,
ahead.
Queens, so freestyle just there.
This is Far Rockaway, bitch. We're going to get KFC. With oh, we're
Oh, it's High Noon. Another High Noon advertisement.
Which we're sipping on right now.
And I tell them, yes.
synchronicities.
Also what he's wearing, yeah.
The Reese Beach,
The Reese Beach, man.
Far
Rockaway.
4th of July weekend, guys. And
weekend, guys.
I'm gonna give you guys a walk up the beach and show you what is going on.
Walk on with a walk on the
Tell you
beach,
guys,
man.
it is miles of beach and the beach
Miles
is
of beach, man.
numbers, so we're just gonna walk the beach and all our friends and show you guys what's going on. But in the meantime, guys, remember to
See if we got family
I'm
reunion.
gonna sample this guy. I can
join the
use this.
freestyle movement, you know the vibe.
Yeah.
Freestyle adventure, man. Yeah.
We're gonna walk the strip right now and show the one one. People out there,
Oh, I'm
numbers.
going.
Freestyle.
What is Wagwan?
Wagwan.
Make it
Wagwan.
rain, girl, make
Like,
it
what's up?
We'll go on, yeah.
You go Wagwan, me bread.
Yeah, think about like destroyed English, what goes on with it long
first,
on.
let me tell
Oh,
you
I
freestyle.
see.
You're like Wagwan, me bread.
Wagwan.
Wagwan, me bread.
Wagwan, Richie.
Everything is wrong with Tim. You see?
not what you
I think I can do it.
I think we should start integrating Nigerian pidgin and patois into our language, patois.
But
Listen,
it's alright.
what it
And as
do?
you can see, people are out in their numbers.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Mary. Everything
You got it,
is
boy.
Having a good time. So
Don't worry, Mary. Everything is irie.
strip guys on here what is going on. As you can see,
Oh, this footage.
as far as you can look on that side of the beach, guys,
As you
people like crazy. Look at that. And then we're gonna
This guy's
take
really.
it all the way back from
There's a
this
black
side.
guy recording.
Then we're gonna go all the way back down to that side.
All the way back
So
down
just
to
walk
that side.
in the freestyle
I gotta listen
and
to this
I'ma
guy
put us
to get my
on the
accent
beach.
down. All the way down back to the back
So
side.
as you can see for yourself, guys, people are out in their numbers.
People are out in their numbers.
As I said before, guys, it's the 4th of July weekend. Actually, it is the Saturday. So I figure the Sunday and the Monday is going to be more tough.
Fuck it.
Uh,
Close it out. Yep. So re-speech. I gotta take you guys. It'll be fun.
That does sound fun.
Yep. I haven't
one, Richie.
I haven't been there since a post-Trump win, though. It might have changed a bit. Who knows? Because it was when I went there, Biden was still the guy.
What do you think the demographics have changed?
Obvious, 100%. Dude,
A lot
we
of
were
people
talking.
got deported from the beach.
We were talking about this before. How when a Democrat's president, I said people get sluttier, and then when a Republican's president, people start getting like much more conservative with their sexual practices. You said it's just a different kind of woman, but I don't know.
No, I think it's a different kind of woman because I think that no longer exists in the Trump era. Or maybe like women of color become more conservative or less slutty, but definitely trashy blondes get far sluttier under a Trump administration.
You think so? I don't know about that.
That's my prediction. I don't know if it's true. Women I'm not interested in will get sluttier under a Trump administration.
I don't think women get slutty under a Trump administration at all, one bit. I think under Trump administration or Republican administration in general, women become scared. They become scared of getting slutty because they're like, what if
I get pregnant and I have to have a child? I can't have an abortion.
Exactly. Or at least culturally, people will be more they'll know that they're more prone to judgment under a conservative environment.
But under modern Trumpian MAGA conservatives, I don't know if that holds.
Dude, look around. Who's fucking? No one's really being
I
slutty.
am. Maybe that's a bad sign if I suddenly start fucking. I don't know if anyone else is, but
That's actually a good question. I don't know. I mean, look, under a Democratic president, maybe, okay, you're not a normie. We could establish that much. Like, you're
That's
not a
very
normie.
true.
So whether it's good or bad or better or worse, we could at least establish that we at least can mutually exist outside of some norm that I'm talking about when it comes to like mates.
may I feel inspired or more forward pressing under a Trump administration. I'm moralized and not demoralized. So then I go out and I get a girlfriend.
Oh shit, yeah, it could be more demographic based. You're right. But it doesn't matter because
That's
whether
a fair point when we're getting
but
abortion, whatever.
It doesn't matter for the guy though because the women are the gatekeepers of sex.
That's true.
So if the women feel like they're gonna pay for this heavily if they have this random unsafe sex with some stranger, then they're probably not gonna be likely to do it.
That's in general true.
I mean, think about it.
In general, it's true, but
in the fourth wave feminist movement of 2000, like what is it, 11 or 15 or some shit?
Under Obama.
Yeah, like towards the end of tail end of Obama's shit. That was like when the latest iteration of the feminist wave was like coming full swing.
Me Too,
Yeah.
and
Harvey Weinstein.
and whatever. But a lot of that all starts under Obama. It feels like Obama liberal triumphalism that they went for that push. It was before. It all started before Trump's election.
What do you mean?
Me Too, Title IX on college campuses, yes, all men, whatever. That general social media induced trend and also Obama administration trend. It starts in like, was it 2012 or 2013 that you start seeing a very frigid conservative wave well before Trump even announces his candidacy.
I didn't see anything of the sort.
Well, I did because I was in, maybe just because I was in Boston in a very liberal milieu. an incredibly liberal milieu.
That's true. That's a good point. But it's like I just know that when I was out, like partying, going to raves, going to bars, going to shows, going to whatever, all these activities, as when Obama was president, everyone was way more like
People were doing it more. That's true. Definitely things got more frigid under Trump 1. I'm uncertain about Trump 2.
oh yeah, people definitely got more frigid still.
They did for sure. But
and it's like they got frigid under Trump, and Biden didn't really help that.
yeah, I didn't thaw too much.
And then Trump comes back again, and it gets like iced out for sure.
It's impossible for me to say from my own anecdotal experience. I have to see what other people are doing.
Well, the fact that you have to think of, like, otherwise you would have just seen it already, right?
I barely had sex during Trump. Well, I would have like 2 different hookups a year during Trump 1. I wasn't in a
But as for
relationship.
normal people who
Yeah.
who didn't really care that much about the discourse, all they cared about was they turn on the news or they see their gay friend or whatever make this crazy sob story post about how they were traumatically abused or whatever by society at large. Once the normal people started, because it's not like they were seeing like conservatives post about how hard they had it. No, they were getting.
I was having it hard during Trump administration.
No. I'm saying like before that.
But
like,
I know, yeah, during
people-
Obama administration.
Yeah, people were started getting bombarded with footage of police brutality, of all sorts of shit that apparently happens because of the white man, you know?
Yeah. Allegedly.
But then again, you could also figure like if more people are doing like that liberal nonsense, then they're likely going to be doing more illegal shit. I won't lie. Like if I went to a party celebrating Pride or something, or like a rave or a festival, I mean,
Yeah, I'd be raping left and right.
fuck, I don't even remember what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, I don't know. All I know is people when a fucking Democrat is sitting in that office, people get more loosey goosey.
That's true. I agree with that. I'm just curious about this administration, how things will go.
I'm telling you.
But
man.
yeah, it's probably going to get very frigid.
Yep. That's been the whole thing. That's part of the whole population decline.
Yeah, polarization, increasing education, the general question of why people are having less kids. There's a lot of things pushing against it. You have other distractions, people feeling unready in their lives, people not wanting to, birth control meaning that they don't get accidentally pregnant.
True.
It is a result of modernity that your birth rates go down. Israel is the only developed country that has above replacement fertility. A lot of that is bolstered by ultra-Orthodox, but even secular Israelis have like 2.1 kids or something. I suppose if at any time you're running to a bomb shelter and then saying to a girl, hey, this might be the last time we live, for a reason to have sex with her, you're just going to have a higher birth rate. And also the national mythos of being up against all of these Arabs.
Well, I guess we'll see soon enough if we all get sucked into World War III. If we get drafted, I hope we're together.
Yeah.
Me, you, and Rich.
Yeah, I know. We might just be outside of the draft range, but maybe it'd be worthwhile to go anyway.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, my sister's already in. My brothers would definitely 100% get drafted. It's like that generation exists just to be drafted.
Yeah.
Fucking A. I mean, it's crazy how it happened. Like immediately I was thinking, what meta machination am I not seeing that drove this to happen? Where like I'm sitting in the car with my little brother and he's like, I was like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And he was like, I never really thought about it. And I was like, all right, well, you should think about it. I was like, you don't have to give me an answer now, but you know, it's something to kind of think about more often. And he's like, all right. And at the red light, he was like, maybe I'll like kind of have like a similar path as Sky. He's talking about my sister, and my sister's in the Army Reserve. So I'm like, oh shit! Like, what the fuck happened? Like, how did they get us so easily? Like, and it's not even like my siblings are like patriotic, or it's not even like they care or like war.
It seems like appropriate for your class background, for your family background, for your parents or your dad, and then your stepmom and your grandfather. I don't know. It makes sense. You seem like a military family in a bunch of ways. You seem like a red state family in that respect.
I don't know. My dad. I always knew my dad as a thug, a criminal. But then again, I guess they have their own.
Overlap.
Yeah.
Maybe under different. I mean, he definitely is or was a thug criminal, but
Yeah. I think my dad wishes he could have joined the military himself.
yeah, probably would have been a more useful direction for his energy.
Yep. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, yeah. You're right. He did kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would have. Yeah,
But it's all good. I mean, he's got his kids in there now. That's good for him. He worked that hard. He worked like tirelessly so he could get his kids in the military.
he worked tirelessly at a life of crime so his kids could join the military.
That's pretty based.
Yeah.
Like, that's very American now that you talk.
He didn't
about it.
have to actually, but it worked out that way.
Yeah. It's just interesting. Like that is as American as apple pie. Like you come from a criminal family, join the military, get out of the military, take your criminal family to the next level because with all that training and knowledge. Just like those movies.
Just like a GTA game. Not that it's true for any GTA game.
It was kind of true for Nico.
Yeah,
Nico
yeah, but
Bellic-
it's a foreign country.
Yo, Nico
It's a
Bellic was like,
Yugoslav wars.
all right, Nico. If you guys want to get into GTA, Nico Bellic was the best protagonist.
Yeah, I agree.
And GTA 4 was actually it still holds up. It's still a fucking masterpiece.
The
I mean-
hanging out parts and this friendship thing, that is very tedious and that's very true. Bunch of the life simulation elements.
It is very
But-
tedious, but when you see the present game, GTA 5, and then you revisit GTA 4,
Yeah,
you're like,
now
this,
6 that's coming out.
yeah. But GTA 4 was actually like, once you played the game and then you could look at it in a retrospective lens,
Yeah.
you notice a lot more things. That's with anything true. But
Mm.
GTA 4, it's like, it was a very emotionally heavy story for any GTA game. It was crazy. And the protagonist, like you play as an immigrant, like a fish out of water type shit. You're not, you're like literally a stranger to the land.
Right, because 3 and Vice City, not CJ in San Andreas, but Tommy Carcetti or whatever. And I forget- Rossetti.
But the thing
And
was,
him and the guy from 3, who I forget, both are just kooky psychopaths.
yeah,
Like, I prefer the more comedic tone of those games, but
yeah, it's more lighthearted. But GTA, I think the reason
more
why,
arcadey driving too.
the reason why these games, I think there's a meta context to it where it's the city, it's where they
Yeah,
take
it
place. If it takes place in GTA 4, New York City is not LA. New York City is not Miami. New York City is a dreary, gray place. It's almost like Britain. It's almost like London.
Yeah, look at all the rain and cool weather we've had lately,
Exactly.
which
It's-
I loved. I've loved this.
no, it is.
I love that it's June and it's still cool weather.
It's a grim city. It's
Yeah.
a grim, humid city, and it's also like how realistic it was because like I mean the whole crime and the fantastic elements are a little embellished, but to be an immigrant, like
Yeah.
an Eastern European no-name country, post-Soviet satellite kind of country immigrant into this country, and
What
it's
is
like
Nico's? He Serb?
yeah, and you have no prospects.
Mhm.
You have blood on your hands. You're traumatized. You're literally used to killing every single day just to survive. And like, you come into Brighton Beach. You come into the Brighton area, and you end up in some shitty ass roach infested apartment with your fucking cousin who wrote all this bullshit in the letters that weren't true. And how real is that, dude? Already, that alone is enough to make you feel that. Like you may not even be that immigrant, but living within the confines of New York City, being around those immigrants, like it's like, dude, that's fucking true to form, man.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I
Fitting
grew up those-
starting location, but yes.
Yeah. It's like that's all. It's like might as well have been my dad's story, I guess.
Right. Where did your dad grow up? Bronx?
Starwood City.
Okay.
That's in Brooklyn, I think.
Yeah. On the east, I'm assuming.
Yeah, East New York. It was a bad.
Starboard, yeah.
I heard back then. It was a way different neighborhood.
What? When was this? 80s, 70s?
Yeah, 80s, late 70s, 80s.
What was it like back then?
Oh, dude, forget about it. Like all the shit you could do now, it's
Yeah.
fucking Disney World.
No.
right? Back then, it wasn't about worrying about like authority. No, it was it was worrying about the locals. Like they would have fucking. There was a lot less oversight.
Yeah.
Like now, people are afraid to get canceled. That's like the worst
Yeah,
thing in the
just
world.
social violence.
Back then, you
it
got
was actual violence.
yeah, you got fucking stabbed, robbed. Things were not as prosperous. The poor people were not able to make that TikTok money. Stripping
Well,
the street.
there's a much younger population overall. There's less oversight. There's less police enforcement. There's no surveillance society.
Yep.
All these things lead to a more violent, physically conflict prone, and also difficult or unrecordable of an environment.
Yeah. But nowadays, nowadays it's not like that.
Starboard City, so.
So yeah, that's where my family, or when they set their roots down in New York City,
America.
started there. Starboard City, East New York. I was born in Queens, Flushing.
Fitting location.
Yeah, I truly am a Queens cat.
Yeah, you are.
It's true. It's true. I mean, I spent the bulk of my upbringing in Staten Island, but it's Queens for me. True.
You have a very Queens air to you, and very Flushing in particular. But yeah.
Yeah, Flushing's, I don't know. Flushing's changed a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot less Koreans. There's more Chinese, Indian, Arabics.
The great replacement of Flushing.
Yeah, but I don't think the fucking Koreans care though. I think for them it's like, finally we get the fuck out of this shithole. You know, like finally we move
I
to
know Flushing. It's like the median Flushing face shifts from a round moonlight Korean face to a more yellow Chinese face.
Yep, precisely. I mean,
A more
it's-
Dulwich cephalic face.
and it's not like the Koreans truly get wiped out of Flushing. It's just they get pushed further and further
out into the margins of it.
north. You know,
Further north, I see.
yeah, towards the Bay Area.
They're still being ethnically replaced. They're being ethnically cleansed. It's a Korean genocide.
Well, we don't have rooftop Koreans in East New York, okay?
Yeah.
But the Koreans here, just making an honest buck, they're definitely struggling. It's because the Koreans here, they probably don't collectivize as much as the West Coasters do.
You don't have a K-Town the same way that you have out there.
Yeah. Over here, you just have churches. That's the real communal hubs.
Well, that's communal hubs for
Any ethnicity.
yeah, Asians and any ethnicity. Yeah, Korean organization or Asian organization, often through churches. I know.
It's also who's got the most money.
Yeah,
And they got the fucking money. Korean churches have the fucking money and the pull.
yeah.
Powerful organizations they are, the religious institutions.
But yeah, it's true for any ethnicity.
That's why I don't think I'm ever gonna like subscribe to any organized or established like religion or institution like that, because I don't have to. I discovered I don't fucking have to. I mean, I would have had to if like all this information and wisdom they had was kept secret. Then I would have no choice but to play ball. I would have no choice but to cave and, you know, and join one of their kooky temples. But I don't. I have Google.
Well,
I could go to Barnes and Noble and pick up
you're
books.
a more fiercely independent and less communally minded person than them too, or at least your communal mind is not associated directly with your ethnicity.
Why would it?
Yeah, right. I mean, you're American. You're born here. Yeah.
My communal sense is usually like merit. I prefer meritocracy.
I mean, frankly, it's like people you knew in Staten Island, or your friends, or people you know online. People you have the most connection with, it seems like to me.
But that's everybody, isn't it? Like that's anybody. People I come across, and then there's like,
Well, for like other people or for an older generation, the Korean church would have been the primary or sole means of connection.
yeah, true.
And that's the difference between you and the older generation or new immigrants.
Yeah, I guess I'm more of a lone wolf kind of guy. It's true though. People have described me that way, and I was like, I guess that's
Also,
who I am.
yeah, and just more attached to other Americans.
Yeah. I guess that's just what happens when you're always the outsider. You get so used to it, but you get to see things that most insulated communities do not get to see. You know? And especially if you could be the outsider and still ingratiate yourself with these communities, like at when necessary or preferred. Like if you could get good at that, then you get to have a lot of fun. And this is actually a really good topic of conversation. So there's a difference between a generalist and a specialist.
Yeah.
A specialist is the guy who's really, really good at one job, like an engineer or a technician. The generalist is like the manager, like management, or the product manager, or the median, or the liaison, or the producer. So at one point, when we lived in a pre-information age, when information wasn't so freely accessible, it was the specialists that dominated. It was the people who went to the libraries and spent hours and hours looking up books about engines, and like different make and models and all that shit, and really learning this shit from the fundamentals up. Those were specialists. And, once they got to that point in their mastery, they dominated. It didn't matter what they specialized in. They were the guy, because if you needed it done right, you had to go to him. He was the best game in town. He was the only game in town. He's the specialist. So at one point, they were the leaders. They were the bosses. They were in demand in the job market. Now, it's the generalist that's winning. It's the generalist that's becoming more prioritized, because, first of all, we live in an age where technology will be 10 times the specialist you will ever be now. If you think of yourself as a specialist, what are you really? You're just a guy who recalls the correct information at the correct time. That's all a specialist really is. Whether it's a technical skill or ability or knowledge or wisdom, it's literally just being able to recall the correct information, pull it out of your database, and being able to express it.
You can fact check ChatGPT on a particular subject that you're specialized in.
That's true. So yeah, I mean, it's going to get better, and it's only going to get better. Yeah, you could say like it has its flaws and it has errors 100%, but that's only going to get better, and that's not going to... Okay, so a good metaphor for this is think of the king. The king is the specialist of their land, of their kingdom, of their domain. At the same time, the king didn't really have that much power outside of the king's kingdom. That's why they were so obsessed with expanding their borders. The more borders, the bigger border they had, the more freedom they had, really, literally. So they were basically prisoners of their kingdom. It was the sailors, it was the pirates, they were the generalists. They were the ones who didn't have to concern themselves with mastering one land and settling on one land, because their whole livelihood was based around going from land to land, controlling the flow of trade ultimately, and more importantly, the flow of information. So as far as like geopolitics was concerned, in like a certain time period, it wasn't... I mean, yeah, you had like border wars and border clashes and border politics and all that shit, but when it came to the true geopolitics, that was mastered by the sailors. That was mastered by the ones who were able to say, what news do you bring from the other lands? It's like, well,
pre-modern world, before modern mass communication, administrative state, specialization, ability to exert more and more control, everything is very decentralized. And non-state actors have a far stronger position. Individuals have a far stronger position.
Absolutely. Spiritually, mentally, and physically. I mean, don't get me wrong, ultimately the institution will always have more resources than you, of course, but I mean...
In the past, that wasn't necessarily the case a lot of the time. Now, certainly, yes.
Well, it's also what people are starting to become wise to. I mean, really, when it comes to radical self-efficacy, like if you really break that down to what it is, your life wouldn't be that shitty if you didn't give them like a cause, a reason, or a means to hold something against you. It's like, oh, you don't have a girlfriend, you're an incel in society, blah blah blah, and all the media will be blasting is like what reasons why you should off yourself, right? And like, well, what if like, okay, so I don't care about sex anymore at all. Sure, I might be an incel. What if I don't give a shit? Then you could say like, all right, then they can't really use that against you. Then they'll try to use the next thing. Oh, well, you're this, you're that. And if you address your own insecurities, basically, and you're able to either resolve them or do something about them, that's more freedom. That's less they can fuck with you. And it's really just about doing less. Like doing less shit that's bad for you. That's all it is. It's like you don't have to do extra shit. You don't have to go do extra fucking work. What you really have to do is less of the shit that you're probably doing already. Less drinking, less spending, less eating, less laying around, less moving around, less whatever.
living a better, more balanced life, or healthier life.
Yeah. So it's really just about doing less. The reason why they get you is because they make you think you have to do more. You have to do more buying. You have to do more learning. You have to do more working. You have to do more fucking. You have to do more maxing. You know? I mean, would you have to do as much maxing if you did as much shit? No.
No. I don't know. I find my whole life I've never been big on consumption, big on earning, big on spending, big on any of these things.
Yeah.
I've always been very easy to drift by in my life with very little. I find that whenever people talk about how stressful modern American life is, for all my complaints, my dysfunctions, I'm always like, boy, it's been really easy for me.
And that is one of the reasons why I'm really not in a rush to have kids.
You also have a greater fertility window, but yes.
Possibly. I don't know, man. It's at some point, I just want to learn all the things. You know, I want to learn all the things.
Yeah.
And it's not even like I have to try. The shit just comes to me. You're constantly learning new things, whether you want to or not. So if you're getting what you want, then what's left to do except be thankful, be more gratitude.
Well, as we've said before, here on Terrorisk, we are gratitude.
We are gratitude. So yeah, I think this is why, like, I know it's like a long-winded way of saying how important gratitude is, but it's true. Even if you break everything down from the surface all the way to the core, it's like, well, what am I supposed to do about it? It's like theoretically, hypothetically speaking, I get what I want in life. I have my wife. I have my kids. I have a job that sustains me and that's meaningful to me and that does something for the community.
All things to be gratitude about.
Exactly. That's all that's left. Once you get all you, because then if you don't do that, what happens?
I do know a lot of people I've known who have had kids. They have a lot more gratitude.
They are more gratitude.
Yeah. A lot of people say they feel like life properly started when they did. And that a lot of things that used to bother them don't bother them anymore.
Yeah. So when you do understand gratitude and the real meaning of it, what if you didn't do that and you started getting what you wanted? Then you're going to want more shit. And I have examples in my own like life that I could point to where it's like, it's never enough. And that lands you in a lot of fucking trouble.
Yeah, it does.
Like a lot, like psychologically, mentally,
Yeah.
physically. It lands you in some shit. So when I say gratitude is important, I don't mean as an ideal. I mean as a survival tactic, you know?
Yeah, as a state of being. It was Father's Day yesterday. I thought a lot about my dad, who was a very gracious person. He was very happy for everything he had in life.
Yeah. That's a good example to follow, I think.
Yeah, it is. I was thinking about it a lot yesterday.
You know, like I naturally, without thinking, I just like, my dad was even, I don't even think he realized like what I was trying to do when I hit him up like a few days ago to a week. I was like, yo, what are you doing this Sunday? And he's like, oh, I don't know. I was like, you want to meet up? He's like, yeah, come on by. I was like, no, let's go out. Let's go out somewhere. He's like, you want to go out? I was like, can I bring the kids? I was like, yeah, bring them along. And then like finally, like towards the days, he's like, oh, it's Father's Day.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking the whole time.
Your dad forgot that it was Father's Day.
Because like I realized like whether I wanted to, whether I didn't want to, it was something I was going to do. And that meant I just did it. You know, I didn't even think about it.
And you took initiative on it, you planned it, you hit him up for it.
Because it wasn't because I was like idealizing it. It was just more so being who I claim to be. If I'm a person who's thankful for life, I have to be thankful for things that I don't have to have, which is my pops, you know?
The first Father's Day without my dad around, I thought to myself, wow, I finally understand how all black men feel not having a father.
Yeah. Well, now you have one more reason to be less racist.
Or more racist.
Or more racist. So yeah, I mean, gratitude. That's really what it is. It's all about gratitude. We have to be thankful. Very, 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 very important. I mean, look, the reason why, like, fucking inflammatory idiots like me and Carmen and I should say, can be so good-natured and prosperous enough is because we know how to be gratitude.
I am very gracious for everything I have.
Not gracious, just grateful.
I am gratitude. I don't know why I'm butchering our tagline. I am gratitude about everything I have.
Yeah. And it's what the most annoying part is, especially for smart people. It's almost offensive how simple it is. That's how it felt for me when I learned about this shit. When I learned about how like just actively practicing gratitude in a single instance can radically shift your state, your physical, mental, spiritual being, your state, your frequency. It shifts it. And just saying I'm thankful for this bullshit, it shifts. It turns that little knob inside of you. You know, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is.
And it is offensive at how simple it is. You're like, fuck. Because it's easy to, you missed it for so many years. You're like, oh, god damn it. It's offensive. And that's why I don't mind saying it, because I know I'm an idiot. So it's like, it's like poetic. It makes poetic thematic sense that wisdom come from an idiot. It's like, it makes sense. To me, it makes
perfect sense.
Into my core, it just feels right that God would play that kind of joke where he's like, I'm gonna make this fucking idiot get it, like, and it's like I feel that, and I'm like, well, whatever, God, Jesus, I'm at your service, because I'm grateful for what I was given just by playing ball a little bit, just by giving an inch to God. He gave me like a mile. I was like, oh shit. You really are serious. You really are like really about your shit, God. Okay, big man, you got all of me. And then he's going to give you the universe. Because literally then you become a spiritual being. You become not just a brain and a meat computer inside of a meat suit rotting on this earth just to be worm food. No, then you contain something. And you contain something that's eternal, that's connected to everything else ever. That ever was, that ever will be. So that's why spirituality and religion are important. And yes, I agree, it can be manipulated, it can be misguided, it could be misdirected.
There's far too much mentioned of that, not enough about the raw utility and necessity of it.
But there's
far too much throat clearing, far too much complaining about corruption of it.
You're right.
And not enough actual analysis of what makes it beneficial and good, part of a good life.
But this is why I particularly don't want to subscribe to a religious institution or like a certain tradition, a named famous tradition or whatever. It's because the
benefit of it all is just to be in a community of people like that, right? And to learn from them, to interact with them, to have an interconnection,
Well, yeah, I mean, but I think because we're given more means to broadcast who we are about as just people, as individuals. If you choose to embody those ideals without even talking about it, everything you do is going to be evangelized. You're gonna what? Pick trash up off the street. You're gonna help the old lady.
Your behavior, in the way you're viewing others, the way you're viewing the world.
And then people could ask you. It's like at some point they will. At some point they're gonna ask you. It's like, yo, what are you on? Where can I get it? And you say what you're on.
Which is gratitude.
Gratitude. Well, who are you thankful to? And I was like, well, that's $1 million question, isn't it? Yeah. I would say you should take a long time and ponder it. Carmen's just getting some water. So I would like to take this brief moment and talk about how important it is to be thankful for even the bad things in life. Because sometimes the worst things in life can teach us valuable lessons. So, if anything bad's happening to you out there in the world, keep your chin up. It's like a pendulum swing. Right now you're at the extreme ends of the negative side. Eventually the pendulum will swing back the other way.
The other way, yeah.
So
what's on the feed? I'm seeing a lot of Nietzsche.
So like for this podcast, for example, like we don't even have, this isn't a Buddhist podcast. This isn't a Christian podcast. This isn't a Gnostic. It's literally just me being an idiot. But if I could embody these things, I could just talk about it, naturally, as if it's just something I do.
I've been reading a lot of Nietzsche quotes. He's popping up consistently in your feed.
No, I think Rich is just on a page.
That makes sense. Yes.
Yeah, Friedrich Nietzsche Groyper.
That makes a lot of sense. Never mind.
Okay, so Nietzsche.
Otherwise,
this is exactly what Nietzsche was talking about, though.
Wait, scroll up, Rich. No, scroll down. Nice, go on. Wait, I don't know. Actually, it's not. That's not as interesting as I thought it would be.
Damn. Maybe having Twitter while you podcast is a bad idea.
Bad idea. Yeah, it's too distracting. I was hoping for content from from the feed. But anyway, go on.
Would you consider yourself a Twitter addict?
Yes, definitely. Internet addict in general.
No, but Twitter's not like the internet, though. Twitter's a
Yes,
very...
particular social media site. Yes, and definitely.
I see. Well, I guess, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know enough about Twitter. I don't
know. Atomized people tend towards addiction. People in the modern world have various different addictions. Video games, streaming.
Well, how do you...
gooning,
Okay, so how do you feel...
Internet, social media.
Well, how do you feel without Twitter?
I'll feel jittery for a little while, then I'll adjust to not having it.
All right, so it's not that bad. It's not anything
Yeah.
serious. That's good. I mean, because I just don't know enough about Twitter. I can't even say if it's good or bad. I'm like, it's whatever.
Yeah, what are you looking up? Just the Fish Tank live feed?
Yeah, the tag.
Yeah.
Fish Tank, how do you feel about that as a concept?
I don't care for reality TV normally. I don't know about the thing itself. This is weird because this season of Fish Tank has a genuine real life friend of mine as a contestant on it. So I'm suddenly very interested in following
Well, first of all,
it.
that was bound to happen.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. And also that my friend Arie, who's on Fish Tank, is a fan favorite of this season.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud of him because he's a very appropriate person for Fish Tank.
I mean, Fish Tank first aired, what, 2023, 2024, 2023?
3, I think.
Yeah,
'cause
okay.
Season 4, yeah.
I remember because I followed season 1 very intently, and I thought it was a very novel concept because Sam
It's
Hyde was-
interesting because it's just Big Brother, but streamed, which feels like it should have happened before, and then also with the kinds of people Sam Hyde gets on.
also the novel concept of it was the fact that as a viewer, you were able to throw in coins in money so
Yeah.
that you could actively fuck with them live. Like
Yeah.
you could type in like kill yourself, kill yourself, kill yourself, kill yourself, and then like
Yeah.
pay like what was it, like 50, 60 bucks, and then you hear kill yourself, kill yourself.
Yeah,
kill
yeah.
I'll be like, holy shit. And then it would really become a game for the viewers to see if they could break them. If they could
Yeah, I
fucking
know. It's a lot less grim, at least thus far, than Black Mirror would have you believe if they were just to. I'm surprised if they don't already have an episode copying it.
All right, so
Or
the listeners,
inspired by it.
so the viewers and listeners who don't know, this is Fish Tank. Fish Tank is Sam Hyde's live streamed reality show.
This Big Brother with a bunch of cameras within a house and interactions from the viewing audience to
But then
fuck
again,
with the contestants and Sam Hyde to fuck with them
I'm sure
too.
everyone fucking knows about this shit already. Because once Joe Rogan,
Anyone watching this knows about it.
Well, Joe
It's
Rogan-
something you have to explain to anyone else, but go on.
Joe Rogan talked about it.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Sick.
so it's mainstream pretty much.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows once Joe Rogan talks about it, it's like
Well,
totally mainstream.
well, everyone within your two demographics of internet guys and Staten Island guys, you combine. You have it
Actually,
on
I
Joe
don't have that many Staten Island guys watching
Rogan
this.
anymore. Okay, I just meant in your life, in your real life, of the circle of people you know.
That's fair enough. I mean, obviously, because I live in Staten Island, but like, yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I mean, I don't
because they
want-
live in Staten Island, they listen to Joe Rogan.
I don't want to
Watch.
admit this, but I think like I got most of my newer followers from streaming with Andreas every Wednesday.
That makes a lot of sense.
Shout out to Andreas. And this is why like when I do the streams with him, I don't like to plug my shit. I don't like to fucking like say like, oh, follow my podcast, follow this, because I don't. That's not why I do it with him. You know, like I do it with him
Yeah.
because I like talking to him. So that's why
I
I'm-
like to stream with him, but I'm always busy on Wednesdays.
Yeah, he did ask for you, and the reason why well, we have a thing now, so this is why I do what I do on the stream. At the end of it, the very end, and this became very important to him, which is really funny. I would do this thing where it's like, you guys got any closing statements, any things you want to say? And my thing would always be thank you to everyone watching, thank you
Yeah.
to everyone on the panel for watching, and that was it. I would just say thank you. And I thought that was like super important. Well, it was more of an experiment. I was like, this is my chance to test this, to see how powerful of an impact active gratitude projected to literally like hundreds of people, like
Yeah.
on a live stream. I was like, let's see if this works. And I did it. I was like, and it worked. And I was like, I really truly believe that people had better experiences, at least for a little while after that, from me thanking them for their time. You know, you didn't waste
Yeah.
your fucking time with us. Like
That's a very good point. Both
Because I
people going
appreciate
on,
it.
people listening, people watching, all are making use out of their time here.
Yeah. So I think this is how powerful. This is just one example of how powerful being gratitude is.
Yeah. Where are we at time?
1 hour and
Just an hour.
Just
an
cool.
hour or 4.
cool.
Oh, okay. Damn.
We got time for a couple joints.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So I want to circle back to World War III here, and
Yeah.
the imminent nature of it, and the fact that it's going to be gay Iran, because Iran allows gays in their country, right?
No, they allow trans women.
But they don't allow gays.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Gays are expected to transition. They're pressured to transition.
That's
I'm
fucking
serious.
based, actually.
Yeah,
Oh, you want
and-
to suck dick? You're a woman now. Be a
Yes.
woman. Put the fucking dress on.
And they pay for their sex reassignment
Holy
surgery.
shit, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
A lot of things of Iran are fascinating because it's like this theocracy that's also very modern or underwent a different path to modernity. But like it's this society that is both a theocracy and unusually a Shia theocracy combined with like a bunch of Maoist elements or revolutionary kind of communist elements.
I mean, eventually the Middle East shit is going to tie into the Eastern European shit.
Yeah, and they are backed and connected with Russia and China, and they fund. They're part of the alliance there. They provide a bunch of oil to Russia and to China, or to China, I think in particular. But
Who do you think would? It would be Israel that launches the first nuke, right? Because Iran doesn't even have fucking nukes.
yeah, even if they reach it, I don't know why they would deploy one. Even if they have like one or two, I suspect that the Israeli arsenal embedding is like 20 warheads they made back during the 70s and 80s when they were working with South Africa to get nukes. I'm sure they do not actually have this huge setup of nuclear weapons, despite their propaganda and claims that they do.
Well, I mean, they even said they were like we never said we had them. We
They do this bullshit.
We said we can make
They do this bullshit where they say we have doomsday weapons, and they never overtly
No,
say.
I believe-
They overtly say everyone knows they have nukes. It is being not even implied. Everyone knows they have them. They just won't call them nukes. They call them doomsday weapons, and they won't publicly say how many nukes they have.
Okay, because I was gonna say it doesn't. You don't really. As long as they know you can make it, that's enough. You
Yeah.
don't even have to make the nuke. If you have the capabilities to do it, then
They
that's
already
it.
have a stockpile of them too. Yeah.
So then there you go. That was it.
Their stockpile of nukes amounts, I'm guessing, I don't know if this is true, but I suspect it probably amounts to like 20 warheads that they made a long while ago. I wonder how viable they actually are. They could definitely make more, but they haven't made them, I suspect, in a very long time, since their last tests were like in the 70s or 80s in concert with South Africa.
What do you think really triggered? What do you think would really trigger a nuclear strike now? I could tell you what I think would.
What? Conflict between India and Pakistan.
No,
But they just talk a big game and never do.
I think any country facing any nuclear capable country facing an active conventional American invasion, they're going to launch nukes. Because
Yeah,
I
that
think
makes
by
sense,
now
yeah.
the general consensus is we cannot stop a conventional attack from American ground forces. It's impossible.
I mean, also, Putin kept threatening to use nukes against Ukraine and never did. He chickened out or didn't want to cross that Rubicon.
I'm saying there's only one. There's only going to be one real trigger, and
Yeah.
that's whatever nuclear capable country that's active, that's got like real nukes.
Yeah.
Any country of that sort that America actively invades that's going to set it off. Because what happened was after Iraq, because Iraq was 3 days. It took
Yeah.
it took 100 hours to completely decimate that fucking operation. It was basically the war was reduced to an operation. So that.
Yeah.
Yo, you think like the whole world wasn't watching that? Russia was watching that. China was watching that. Everyone was watching, and they all agree.
I wonder if even if Iran has nukes, if they got striked by Israel, if they would avoid using them, despite the fanaticism of the government allegedly.
You mean if they got nuked by Israel?
If they just got like conventionally invaded and it looks like the regime was folding, I wonder if they wouldn't even use nukes. Like they would just be too adverse to it.
Well, how strong do you think the cultural fabric of being an Iranian national is?
Strong, but I wonder if there's enough yet, even considering that there just is an aversion to using nukes for fear of the overwhelming retaliation. In the same way that Russia didn't want to use, well, Russia never really, even as painful as the special military operation in Ukraine has been for Russia, they've been avoiding using nukes.
Look, I don't know about like the moral efficacy of using nukes or whatever.
No, I wonder if not even moral efficacy, if that whatever party has them is scared to use them.
All I know is that no matter what, the only single way to stop an American ground offensive is a nuke. Everyone knows that, regardless of how they feel about it as a country, as a government, as a whatever. Like, regardless of how they feel about it, they know mathematically, logically, operationally, there's no way to stop.
I do know that people are fleeing Tehran because of Trump saying Israel will go into Iran or go into Tehran. And as a result, I know that a whole bunch of people have been fleeing the city in a hurry.
But yeah, because it's a war zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't want to get stuck in a war zone.
And they fear being wiped out, perhaps by America or by an Israeli strike.
Wow, because then again, yeah, you're right. Like they probably
like Trump just made a tweet though, saying people in Tehran and Iran have to be safe because we're going to let Israel lose, and a bunch of people were fleeing the city and were being evacuated. We're evacuating the city in response to a Trump Truth Social post.
So Trump basically said, wait, what did Trump say? He's like, we're going to let Israel lose?
Yeah, and a whole bunch of people have been leaving Tehran since then.
Because they took that as, oh, Israel's going to launch a nuke now?
Or Israel's just going to attack or bomb in general.
I do know that Israel at all times has a nuke in the air.
Yeah, it does have. It has a small stockpile, yeah.
No, I mean, at all times, 24 hours.
Oh, I see, yeah, ready to launch.
There's a jet flying with a nuke, yeah. A tactical nuclear ordnance device.
I frankly have not been paying attention to the World War III unfolding. And the theory is that if we do that, if we go into Iran, then China and Russia will retaliate, or China will retaliate.
That'd be interesting.
It would be, wouldn't it?
America wouldn't advance themselves, though. They will send Israel if they can.
Yes, that's what's being said thus far, is that Israel would go into Iran.
Maybe that's the real point of Israel. It's like Israel is supposed to get...
That's what we said, or at least that's what geopolitical blather always said. It made a lot more sense during the Cold War when Israel's opponents were being backed by Russia. But now, I don't know. The idea of Israel as a forward base or a vanguard for America.
Well, I mean, Israel...
I don't know, left-wing take about Israel being an outpost of Western colonialism or America has some truth to it, but in many ways it feels like an excuse making for why this regional conflict is so prominent. I think it's an explanatory argument for our support of Israel that doesn't get into anti-Semitism, at least not normally. And I think people who are opponents of Israel lean too heavily on the outpost of American Western imperialism theory.
Regardless, though, they've only gotten better at that role.
Yeah.
I mean, after what, decades and decades of having nothing but soldiers as citizens, like, what do you think that's going to lead to? Nothing? That's not going to cause their military power to degrade. That's just going to be more refined.
Yeah.
They're functionally Spartans. You know? Aren't they?
That's what they say, but I find the efficacy of the IDF somewhat questionable.
Well, right now Tel Aviv's getting fucked up, and so is
Tel Aviv's getting fucked up.
So is Tehran.
Yeah,
Tehran's already getting fucked up.
But however, supposedly Tel Aviv shouldn't be able to be hit, but
Tel Aviv got hit? Are you kidding me?
No, it is hit. I know. I'm saying it's not supposed to. They always make a big deal about it not being.
Oh, what, like an Iron Dome type deal? You want me to roll you a cigarette?
What? Yeah, sure. I'll roll one. Or try to. I'll fail. Yeah, you're right. I won't be able to do it well. I was looking at the shag of the tobacco as well. The alleged point of Israel is that Jews will be safe there as opposed to anywhere else in the world. But instead, people in the most liberal city in Israel, Tel Aviv, get fucked up, and they have to retreat to bomb shelters. They're having their gay sex pride parties in bomb shelters just because those Jews wouldn't live in New York City.
It is pretty. It's probably if you're like a Jewish adrenaline junkie.
That's true. I do think it, as I was saying before, it definitely helps probably with the cohesion of their society.
Yeah, that's a good way to really like.
So even at the heightened risk of being drafted or at risk of death, you at least are in a functioning enough society that you have replacement rate children.
Yo, someone was like, I heard, I was.
Maybe we need shooting wars with the cartels to raise the American birth rate. Maybe to increase the white birth rate, you really need to have an active shooting war.
All right, so here's the next chapter.
Yeah.
Mexico.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Mexico, okay? So we discussed on this podcast before the plight of the Mexicans, how we as Americans are definitely responsible for that shit.
In part.
Partially, if not directly. All right?
Not that much, a little bit.
I do know.
A lot of it's being a semi-failed state.
I do know that their number one customer in the world is us when it comes to their best gross domestic product, which is cocaine, drugs, weed. Even meth, probably.
Are a lot of those things? Yeah, that goes through Mexico, but Mexico also has a functioning economy entirely separately from that.
Well, yeah, because
Mexico has a lot of
But
manufacturing,
the
a lot of
problem is-
agriculture.
But the problem is,
A lot of those are intertwined with cartel stuff. Yeah,
but for generations, the people that have facilitated all the growth, economic growth, were cartels. They were all drug dealers, drug lords, and murderous at that.
I think it blames America too much for failures within the Mexican state. Though there's some element of truth to it.
I mean, that wouldn't be enough, right? That alone
Yeah.
wouldn't be enough to cause Mexicans to flee their country. Now,
A
what else is
lot of the time, people going through Mexico are coming from other parts of Latin America or other parts of the world. It is
Obviously.
primarily one of the big cartel industries is smuggling people into America. People totally unrelated to the drug war, totally unrelated to every other immigration clause. Like all the Chinese coming over the Mexican border, it's business for.
apparently a lot of them
Mexican-
are from Hong Kong.
Yeah.
When they remember that period
What,
of
with the
unrest
Canadian goose?
before.
Oh, yeah.
No, before the pandemic, there was Hong Kong with China that was just
Protests with
that we
the
just stopped
Pepe
talking.
protests.
Yeah, like what do you think happened to those people? You think they just got to live happily ever after those? No, they had to flee their fucking country. So I realized all those people coming in from the border that we thought were Chinese, they're from fucking Hong Kong. Except we didn't know that because
Hong
we just
Kongese.
what?
Or Hong Kongese.
Yeah,
well,
because-
technically they count as,
Because
as Chinese.
No, I mean,
because-
do you remember the sequence of events? It was
Yeah.
and then right after that, it was Hong Kong, then the pandemic, right?
yeah.
So we just automatically forgot about Hong Kong. But guess what? That shit was still fucking crazy. Like China still came and fucking took their pound of flesh, so to speak. You know how many Hong Kong former politicians and lawmakers are exiled and have bounties from that shit? Because they were pro-democracy in Hong Kong. That's really what it was. It was literally pro-democracy lost in Hong Kong. That's China now.
Well, it's been China for a while, but yes, fair.
Well, no, the deal was China for X amount of years. You're going to leave us the fuck alone. You're going to let us be this two-state
Okay,
thing.
how about this idea, though? We send arms to the cartels so that they'll engage in attacks on America and inspire white Americans and Latino Americans on the border states to have more kids.
Maybe.
By inducing an Israel-like dynamic of them being under siege.
Well, yeah, that's definitely what's going to happen. I mean, here, put it this way. Oh, here's your cigarette.
Thank you.
Fucking, we have to invade them. There's no other solution.
Definitely.
There's no other fucking
As
solution.
mentioned before, this would have been a far better use of our resources 20 years ago than Iraq and Afghanistan.
And that is scary because we talk about the war in Iran, and we're more than likely not going to ever really be drafted into that. However, a war in Mexico, whether you're drafted or not, that's something you're.
You know what would be a benefit of a war in Mexico and occupying Mexico is that you can fuck Mexican chicks, whereas they wouldn't let you fuck, or you didn't want to fuck Arabs in Iraq or Afghans in Afghanistan.
Because they all had like bags over their bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The unfun warrior monk elements of the global war on terror. Whereas a war in Mexico, you know, even if you're occupying Mexico indefinitely, you can get drunk on tequila, you can fuck some ugly mamacita prostitute.
Like Vietnam.
Yeah. It seems like it would be a funner war to have.
Dude, you want to hear something crazy?
Yeah.
You know the how like Cyberpunk 2077 has lore and all that shit?
Yes.
So in that world, in that fictional universe, before the first games even, like before the cyberpunk era hit that universe, what happened was a war broke out in South America.
Yeah. And there's what, a bunch of veterans of it?
Yeah, and they lost like so many people lost their fucking limbs.
And that's why you have all those
cybernetic prosthetics.
Yeah.
Now, like, if a war happens in Mexico, I'm like thinking, like, holy shit, it's happening. Like,
just imagine having a cybernetic penis after getting it blown off in a Mexican brothel.
Dude, once we take those gloves off as a civilization, it's over, bro. Like, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be nuts. You're gonna have dudes that literally just sustain on 90% machinery with a thing over their dick, their one organic part, just pumping away 24/7.
No, this is also a Come Town bit about the RoboCop remake where they elevated and it's just a head and a heart. And I think they said, like, what if he just had a giant dick or you gave him a giant dick?
This is much better than my real dick.
Yeah. It's all worth it.
It was all worth it. That's true. That's a good point. I could imagine that. Nah, well, I think I don't know. I don't think I would care about sex that much after I've slaughtered like 50 dudes.
I feel like I would care about it more.
That's fucking hilarious, man.
I have to even out my score there to kill birth to kills.
I'm gonna take my trauma out on these unwitting women that are gonna experience hundreds of orgasms in 30 minutes flat.
Yep. It's just like the BAP tweet about what women will need to reach orgasm in the future.
They're gonna need some
They're
veteran.
going to be trampled by horses. They're going to be trampled by a bionic robo-dick.
Yep. Absolutely brutalized, like a meat grinder. They're gonna be like, stab me in the forehead with a kitchen knife.
That's just women nowadays.
That's true. But yeah, I mean, World War III happening. But what I do think is kind of a shame though is
What if nothing happens at all once again?
Oh no, that would be great. I would love that. I'm gonna have so much fun if the World War III does not break. Yo, honestly, world, if you're listening, you better
have a world war.
You better hope World War III breaks out, because if you don't, you're gonna get Chris. That's gonna be worse. I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, I like the idea of us on the prowl instead of
It's like, you better hope this happens, or Terrorisk is on the rise.
It's going global.
It's going global. The most unmarketable podcast in the world is going to become that much more marketable.
Yeah.
Now, I still appreciate like that. I basically like at least doubled the subscriber count since like the past year.
Oh, you went from 5 to 10?
No, I'm at like 140 something.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. Maybe next year it'll be 300. Maybe it'll be 1,000. Who knows? I don't know.
It keeps exponentially growing.
That'd be nice, you know? I mean, hopefully I could be responsible. I mean, look, I've been getting into arguments on Facebook, and they've been telling me about like, you bully your followers. And I was like, dude,
That's very reasonable to do.
I was like, I don't give a fuck about followers. You're a sad little man. But then like, and I meant it what I said. I was like, I really don't give a fuck. But then as I keep doing this, I'm like, well, maybe I should give more of a fuck. Maybe I am now feeling more a sense of a responsibility.
Maybe a focus should be on as a responsibility to yourself and to the audience and to the podcast of making it more marketable or more coherent.
Yeah, but I'm having a lot of fun, like not giving a fuck, you know. But
yeah,
it's like someone made a status. They were like, it's painful when someone has like good taste but poor execution. But the worst is when someone has good execution but poor taste. And that's what I like about this podcast, because I think it is like great execution but really poor taste. And I do that out of spite. But maybe I should change that. You know, like maybe I should fucking change that element. Yo, how about this? Next podcast, I'll get you a notepad. So we could both like, I don't know.
Doodle as we're doing it.
Well, I like to keep, because like I realize what happens is as we're talking about things, like I want to say something, but then the other person's like saying something, so I'm like, I'm gonna forget this if I don't write this fucking shit down. So I just like write the topic down.
I have some important stuff I'm writing.
What?
I just have some important stuff I'm writing.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually learned that from watching another podcast. I was like, yo, dude, I'm telling you, man, like humanity's rapidly evolving. I think it's all going to be through YouTube.
Yeah. Imagine an entire world of YouTube. Yeah.
No, not even like YouTube, just an entire world that knows how to change a tire, that knows how to like swap a transmission, that knows how to like draw a really detailed penis, that knows how to like a whole world that could use Linux, a whole world that could write a sonnet, a whole world that could write a haiku.
Yeah.
You know, like...
No, I'll bring a notepad. Don't worry. I have an idea of what I'm trying to do while I do this.
But I'm just saying, like, I do think humanity at large is changing. I do think, like, such rapid access to information so instantaneously is changing us fundamentally as a species. Maybe even down to our genetics.
No, you're definitely expressing genes differently, and both neuroplasticity and physical plasticity as you're going through these.
They say speaking Japanese literally changes and rewires your brain, like physically.
Yeah, it makes you more honorable.
It shrinks your penis by like...
Yeah.
And your balls. It makes your boobs smaller.
Yeah. No, those get larger.
And your lips get bigger and your skin gets
No,
darker.
your lips get thinner.
Yeah. It's true. You're
Your
right.
torso decreases in size. You become more legs.
The best diet is just learning how to speak Japanese, baby. Okay, so fine. Well, I don't think like to make this podcast marketable. I don't think it requires grand gestures and stunts. I think it's just doing the little things, like taking notes and keeping track of my trains of thought, so that I could like stay on track with certain things, you know. And also like properly feed the homies whenever they come by too. So leave them with some good physical sustenance. I would want to make that a regular thing, you know, like maybe next week.
The food has been a wonderful addition to it.
Yeah, and we could learn how to cook new things. I'm thinking someday we could do like fried chicken. Even though that's a pain, I heard that's a fucking pain in the ass, but whatever, I'll try it.
It is in some ways, but
You gotta like what, dump vegetable oil in a pot, like create a
you just have to have a deep fry mechanism set up.
That's gonna be fucking dangerous. I'm down. Maybe we could film it too. But yeah, I'm stoked for more food. Food adventures. Yeah. So you know what you should. Have you ever been interested in drawing?
No, I never have been.
They say those are the people who would be best suited to start, as opposed to like being forced through art school as a kid or something.
Yeah, it makes sense. If you have any natural interest or aptitude in something, yeah.
You got any more, Richie? Is there any more High Noon in your can?
No, here, have mine.
Thank you.
I've had enough anyway. I'm already too drunk.
Oh man, those burritos, dude. I'm still feeling that one burrito.
Yeah,
dude.
same. It was very filling. Very.
That's like a whole ass fucking. That's a whole ass meal.
They
Like,
don't seem that large either. But the caloric density is very high, fitting for Mesoamerican peasants.
Hells yeah. I think that's good fuck food. Like if right before you fuck, you eat.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it's never meant to be hot cuisine, but it makes sense that it took off so strongly. Remember it being a child? Well, yeah, as a child, at least in the Northeast, there wasn't that much Mexican food. You had Taco Bell, you had various other places. Mexican places were starting to open up, but they weren't that great. But
like Chipotle,
yeah, but
Chipotle,
excuse me, but
Chipolate.
it used to be you couldn't get good Mexican food outside of Texas or California. Now you can get it anywhere.
Yes. I like Tex-Mex is good too.
I mean, there's such a huge overlap between them, but yes.
Yo, I like having food adventures with you guys because it's my one meal of the day. So like every meal.
Oh right, you can make it a big, rich, full meal.
Yeah, well, it's not that. It's just every meal is like meaningful, even if it's just like a bowl of oatmeal and that's what I eat of the day. Like
Yeah, if you're only having one meal a day,
it's like
going to be
I think a lot
more
about
meaningful, and also you're going to spend a lot of more time making it count.
it. And I think about it too. It leaves a longer lasting impression, and I think about that meal a lot more. It's amazing, actually. But it's kind of weird because I'll never recommend eating once a day. I don't think it's meant for everyone to be able to do.
Yeah.
And I do think I'm starting to understand why fasting is like a spiritual, is so religious. It's so tied with religious practice.
Yeah.
It gets you closer to God. And I think that's like doing without a lot of things. Like, I mean, like, you know, you need to breathe, you need to drink water, you ultimately need to eat, but you don't need to eat that much. You know, you don't need to drink alcohol, you don't need to smoke, you don't need to come all the time. You know, if you, it's not depriving yourself completely, it's just try it. Like, try being without. Because like there's gonna be phases. What happens is, first phase, your body screams out. Your body like starts lashing out at your psyche. Your body says, "What the fuck are you doing?" You get jittery. You get like you shake your leg. You might even pace around. You might even scream. But once you keep sticking with it after that phase, then you reach something. Something happens, and that's when like all you got to do is give it a try. And I know it's hard I know it's not easy, because it would be easy if we didn't have to go to some fucking job we hated. If we didn't have to fucking hang out with people that we didn't like. If we didn't have to fucking like wake up to a screaming baby that wouldn't let you fucking sleep. If we had like a wife that really, you know, had some medical bills that needed to be paid. Like, you know, these normal material stressors are what get in the way of that, but they're all optional ultimately. You don't even have to be alive. That's a sick part. The sick part is we don't want to remind each other how meaningless it all is, but ultimately we're all here by choice. We don't have to be alive. We don't have to be happy. We just want to be. And it's one thing to say it, to hear it, but to live by those words it's going to create a very different physical like expression of that. Ideas become bodies. Ideas, like through human beings, ideas literally manifest themselves in your skin and your genetic expression. I do think that. I do think like conditioning over time, maybe over a span of just 5 years, is enough to like radically shift things in your development, in your expression, for not just you but your kids and your kids' kids.
I think that's true too.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like nature versus nurture has a lot of, you know, grounds.
People overrate epigenetics or overrate the nurture elements that can lead to genetic changes or biological changes. But yes,
I would say both sides are guilty of overrating their stance on it, you know?
Yeah, they do. It's definitely both. It leans, my opinion is that it leans far more to nature. And there's no one there are people who fully nature, but for the most part, most people who are nature proponents also admit that there's a significant nurture part. Nurture people are way more likely to say it's all nurture or primarily nurture, when it's definitely not.
But this is why I like the idea of using myself as the guinea pig, because I could force myself through the experiments. The only thing is I can't have a control n variable. So I don't have like a basis of comparison truly.
You don't have a control group, yeah. You only have one data point.
All I could compare myself to, though, is just the general populace. Mm-hmm. So it's like if I don't see any radical differences between the supposed control group now, then I'm just going to have to do more. And the more I do, the more I see like the divergence. And I see that, yo, dude, I don't look like the way I do when you first came to New York City.
Yeah.
And it wasn't through hard or one grand effort. It was through consistent minimal changes over time, maintained through what, like 3-4 years. And then physical changes do manifest. But that's obvious. We all know that. But the question is, how much do you have to devote? How much time? How much energy? And that's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of. Like, that's what I'm trying to at least try to quantify, you know? So I could tell people, like, do this for this long, or it's going to take about anywhere between 3 to 5 years for you to, like, fix your shit, you know? Do you think you're worth that investment? I do.
Right.
I do. I always tell people, if they were to ask me that, it's like, am I worth the 3 to 5 years it's going to take to fucking fix my shit? I'm like 45. I'm like, yes. It's always going to be worth it. Because you'll do more damage.
It is, and the more you'll live, you only have one life, the more you'll get out of it, having fixed yourself like that.
And suppose you do have kids, like it's gonna help. It's gonna help humanity.
Yeah, and help with raising your kids and help with your future.
Because some other soul is gonna, some other fractal of God is going to be manifested through and reincarnated through your family line, and you want to do it. It's like a spiritual civil service. Clean up your fucking family lines, you know. We all have problems in our family lines, all of us. We all have serious potholes in those roads. It's our job to really like kind of fill it. We can't do it. We can't put it on our kids because that's messed up. We have to do it. Our dads aren't going to do it. They're stuck in their old ways, et cetera, you know?
We're not even there anymore, but yes.
My dad was discussing the prospect of me like going to a Korean church to snag up a wife.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm
Well,
good.
I'm sure he's anxious about you being single.
Nah, I don't think he's that anxious because he's got other kids. You know, he's got like far younger kids. So I'm probably like, I'm a closed loop, if anything. You know,
Yeah.
In that regard, and like carrying on a genetic line, which is fine. It's fine by me. you
And
know?
also, yeah, with just
It really, it does like make me a free agent. Like in a
It does,
yeah,
right?
in
Because
a
he has all this
psychological-
investment in other kids too, who are younger and more part of his life, and you're off living your own life, in Staten Island.
compared to like how other people operate in this world, where it's like
Yeah.
I got the, I got my parents' expectations to deal with and shit. Not me.
Yeah.
And if anything, like like my dad's always happy because he's like, there's every reason for you to be like 100 times worse off right now, and I'm like, well,
That's true too. You set your expectations for you very low, and then everything else is just much better afterwards.
pretty much.
Yeah.
And I count my success by like now, I consider my success like determined by how little damage I do. Like
Yeah.
if I could wake up like at the end of a week and be like, I didn't hurt anyone, I didn't hurt anyone's feelings, I didn't yell, I didn't fucking demean anyone, I didn't tell anyone to kill themselves, I didn't fucking call anyone a racial slur, I didn't call anyone a retard.
I didn't call anyone a racial slur this week. It was a good week.
It was a good fucking week.
Yeah.
It was a good week. I didn't call
I
anyone.
didn't have to break out my racial slur armory.
Yep. my arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I consider that a good fucking week. As much like what little damage I did, because that's what I'm most afraid of now. I'm like, yo, dude.
Yeah, I can relate to that after being far more chaotic when I was younger.
Exactly. I mean, because I'm good. Like, no, I'm not gonna get near people that would want to seek to harm me. Like, that would be stupid. So knowing that, I don't want to unintentionally harm people. Like. Because I used to do that a lot on the internet, especially.
Yeah, same. Also a lot intentionally, but yes.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
But it's all good. I mean, because like the way I see it, everyone's got a choice to keep doing it or not. And I'm not gonna say I'm better because I chose not to, but I'm choosing not to.
Yeah.
I'm done with that shit. Fuck, man. Sometimes I'll defend.
Yeah, same. Actually, same. I think part of it's growing up, developing more empathy, being more concerned about how you spend your time, being less aggressive due to lower testosterone or hormones balancing out.
But also for me, it's like it's much easier to like get to the bottom of like a heated thing like that, like an exchange. Like if someone's like getting mad at me or something, I'm like,
Yeah.
I just respond with questions. I'm like, why? Why do you feel
Yeah,
that way?
very Socratic. Yeah.
It's like, what's so autistic about me if I'm so autistic? Or it's like, what's
Yeah.
so, and that's usually enough to like diffuse the situation.
It really is. Yes.
I just ask, Oh yeah, that's the Socratic
Dialogue. Yeah. Dialectic. A method.
And it absolutely works. Well, it especially works for retards. Like if you're dealing with a fucking moron and they're like,
Oh yeah,
and
having
they're trying to tee off
force
on
them
you.
to work through the steps of where they're thinking and how they got there.
It's like, why are you so pissed off right now? Oh, because
Yeah.
you're so fucking annoying. Well, what am I doing?
Well,
That's annoying?
You're doing something annoying right now. Yeah, which is great though, but it really it does like lower the temperature.
Yeah. It's like you said you support fucking racists. I was like, I never said that. When did I ever say that? No, but you implied it. All right, let's talk about that. What about what I said implies that? And then that usually leads to the right, the right outcome. Like,
Yeah.
so I could explain myself further. Then they could be like, oh well, you still shouldn't feel this way about this. And I'm like, well, agree to disagree. Because when you get to the core of things, it's really simple, actually. And the answer is always going to be what, kids? Gratitude.
I'm gracious for our friendship and gracious for the world we're living in New York and being in New York City. I am so gratitude that I'm here.
I'm just grats.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it grats.
Congrats.
Congratitude.
It's fake. Yeah.
I mean, the way I see it, like I'm just. It's not even like I have to do anything. It's just I'm glad that I know why I was trying. I know why I did damage before. Like
Yeah.
I understand the reasons why I went out and like did wrong by people. Maybe I didn't mean to, but I know why I did it now. I know like the actual reason. It's not because I'm a good or bad person, but it's because I was scared. I was a scared person. I was fucking afraid of death. I was afraid of meaninglessness. I was afraid of quote unquote not mattering. I was afraid of getting old. I was afraid of staying young. I was afraid of being alone. I was afraid of being in a relationship. I was afraid. It was all fear based. Once I got over that fear, where I realized it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter if I die. It really fucking doesn't matter. Like if I died, nothing about the world would change. I'm not special. And then once I accepted that, I was like, wow, okay, so life is actually really cool because I could do anything I fucking want. You know, like I don't have to matter. So therefore, what do I like doing? And that's when I asked important questions. I was like, well, what do I want to do? I want to play music. I want to ride bicycles. I want to learn how to swing a samurai sword. I want to fucking, you know, like I want to do all this shit. I want to do right by my friends. I want to cook a nice meal. These are the things I realized I wanted to fucking do. You only realize these things once you realize you don't have to do anything. You're only doing what you want. You don't have to do what your parents say. You just want to, and that's okay. You don't have to like stay in your marriage with your wife that you hate. You just want to, and that's okay. You know, like ultimately, none of us have to be alive. None of us have to be in this fucking world. We just fucking want to be. It's better to accept that sooner. That's going to add a lot of meaning to your suffering. Yeah. You'll mythologize your pain a lot less if you just.
You know what I want to do? I want to go to Miami in September. Now we keep bringing it back around, but
hells yeah, I'm down with Miami.
Yeah,
we're still brainstorming about ideas on what to do in Miami. I definitely want to go to a concert, or I'm not a concert, like a show. I want to go to a show.
We're gonna hit the beach for sure. We're gonna hit whatever shopping, maybe not shop. We should have days of just drinking,
day drinking. Yo, I want to drink on the water.
Drink on the waterfront. We're going to hit up the club. We're going to hang out with the biggest cuck of them all, Will Smith, as he's surrounded by old women that he loves.
We got to create a bucket list.
Yeah.
Let's make a fucking Miami bucket list.
Yeah. What's of note? We have to what? We want to go to a shooting range, right?
Yes.
We're hitting the beach.
I want to eat some gator.
Gator, okay.
I mean, Richie, you said you guys would fucking eat anything, right? I'm holding you to it.
I can't eat shellfish, but otherwise, yes.
You guys better be ready to eat some lizard.
Oh, I would eat a lizard for sure.
So we're going to a shooting range, eat some lizard, go to a concert,
go to the beach.
Go to the beach.
Check out the city in general.
Check out the city. You want to go to the Bushwick of Miami?
Yes. My goal is I want to find the Bushwick of Miami. I would like for us to stay somewhere near it, someplace where I could like walk to that location, wherever it is.
You know what you got to do? You got to look for where they have the most like liberal readings, quote unquote readings. You know?
Yeah. Need to see how many record stores. Where are the thrift stores? Yeah, I'm looking that up right now.
Used bookstores and shit.
Thrift stores, Miami.
This is how you use deduction, folks.
Yeah.
The powers.
Dragonfly Thrift Boutique.
What area?
Okay, I found where they're clustered.
So
the clustered area is definitely where we want to get a place.
Where is it?
It is. Let's see. It's.
You know what? I'm gonna learn some fun facts about Miami.
Yeah.
By the next episode. When we talk about this, I'm going to be like, did you know?
Town Square, let's see.
I'm going to be like, did you know that Miami is where the first
Wynwood, I've mentioned before, and the area.
Oh, so it's Wynwood.
Beverly Terrace. Yeah, it's a sort of area of, let's see.
Miami.
Record stores, Miami. Yep, it's also in Sweat Records.
Miami. Oh, I'm getting a new idea for a track.
Brickell is
I gotta make a Miami track.
Little Havana, Riverside.
Richie, you want to help me make my Miami track? This will be our theme song. I got to produce the track for it. You want to help? Sure. Cool. Thanks, man. Thanks for your help.
Yeah. Little River, Upper East Side. Okay, I think I have a vague sense.
What should I wonder what I should sample for it. But anyway,
Yeah.
I'll make it good. I'll make our theme song for the trip good. It'll be really good. I wish we had enough fans where I could make the announcements like, "Yo, make us a theme
What?
song for our trip,"
Yeah.
and then use the best one. Usually, viewer generated shit is much better. You know.
Yeah, you can offload the effort, the labor, the inspiration.
No, I think the episodes are getting entertaining enough, especially now, you know, with so much going on in our personal lives and then so much going on out there in the world and culture.
And more things to blather about. Yes.
Exactly. So we're never going to run out of content, especially
Yeah.
living in New York City. Never
That's
going to
very
run out of content. It's called having a gay old time, folks.
A gay old time. Yes, I'm just looking at how I've never watched it from this angle. Interesting. The battle station itself.
Feels good, right?
Yeah, it does feel good, actually. It's cool. You know, I can't see it over there between my terrible vision and... Huh.
So, all right. So you see on the left screen where it says, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So, from here, let me see. Oh, your mechanical keyboard. Interesting.
And got direct lighting over it too.
Maybe.
Damn, you type fast, motherfucker.
What? Yeah, I have like 90 words per minute.
Holy shit. What
Well, when I'm not what? You didn't know that?
no, I didn't know.
I didn't mention. Well, maybe not nowadays because I'm so out of touch. But
I'm telling you, you're built to be a writer. You're just a writer who doesn't fucking write.
and that's my problem.
That's
yeah,
insane to me.
yeah.
You're physically built for it.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know. My
You know what the problem is? You didn't go to war. You didn't have like
that's true. Nothing to ever force me to have actual organization.
Like if you were drafted into World War II and you
I
miraculously
would have had
survived.
what? Yeah,
Actually, you would have survived World War II.
yeah. I would have. I would have been in a non-combat role. Okay, Upper East Side, Wynwood, Little River is the areas we're looking for. Mimo District, mid 20th century modern architecture. Ooh, that sounds interesting. That's what I would love to see in Miami. I would love to see mid 20th century architecture, like if they have Googie stuff.
Almost Victorian-esque.
No, very much the different. Very like, wait, let me see something. Yeah, like this Fallout aesthetic.
Oh,
I
cool.
think Googie architecture. Wait, this might be all California. This all looks like California. Wait.
That's like
No, this is Miami from 58, 59.
It's like Flintstones Jetson era type shit.
Yeah, it is. Miami Beach, this kind of stuff.
That's pretty dope. I like that. I'm digging it.
Miami Beach Art Deco. Ooh, there's an Art Deco district. Hold on, let me see.
Also, I have a request for
What's
future
that?
episodes. I think we should do a small segment called the negative segment, where we just
What if we call it the negative segment?
we should call it
Miami's Art Deco historic district. We have to go here. Preferably if we can be near it.
You like Art Deco shit?
Yeah, I do.
I think Art Deco is like the best thing to get if you're
Yeah, everyone is. Oh, damn. Look at how. Okay, let's see. I'm doing the same thing Richie did last time, so I'm just going
Are you
fast.
good at Airbnb?
I don't know. I've never done it before.
But you've booked flights before on the internet.
Yeah, I've booked flights before.
It's
What
like the
is
same
it?
thing. Book hotels.
Was it 20th to 27th, right?
Yeah. I wonder what the listeners would use when they book flights and trips. Do they use
Yeah.
Expedia? Do they use I don't know, you just use Expedia. Maybe there's a website called tripplanner.com or something.
Filters. Let's see.
Carmen's budgeting this shit out
Yeah.
like a real Jew.
But it'd be great if we went to a place with no AC and how terrible that would be. Okay.
What,
This
they really
place.
offer things with no AC? That's crazy.
I don't know. That's probably insane.
That's crazy.
Rooms, bedrooms. What did we say? Wait, 6 bedrooms or 6 beds?
6 beds would be nice.
Yeah.
That's a lot. There's only one thing. Like, I don't think like probably 4 beds is more realistic, or 5 if we're stretching it.
What am I doing?
5. Just
What
try
am I
5.
doing?
See what 5 brings up. Right now we're on.
Oh, that's room. Sorry, let me fucking throw away these. Entire home is what we're looking for, right?
Oh yeah, house would be sick. Party house.
Yeah, there you go.
It's where we're all just going to meditate all throughout. That's where I'm going to do. I'm going to meditate in Florida.
Condo, 1 bedroom, 1 bedroom. Now we're going to do filters for.
Imagine if only dating could just be completely this, right?
Well, it seemed like it was going in a smart, good direction, and then it just went to shit.
Well, Tinder did add height filters, I think.
Yeah.
But they've always had that, I'm pretty sure.
No, they haven't, but that's not important. Like, at just one point, internet dating seemed like it was going to. Let's see. Home and
Oh, that's
edge.
pretty sweet.
4 bedrooms, 8 beds, 3 baths
$2,000.
for 2,000 for 7 nights.
6 for 6 people, that would be. That's not bad. Split
Up
6
to
ways.
5 cars, yeah. I forgot what we were looking at.
It's like 350 each, I guess. Give or
Yeah, whatever. We can. Doesn't have to be.
Not 400, 500, 6.
What are we doing? 4 beds. There we go. Condo home.
You want to live the Miami life for a week? You want to be like,
2
yo,
bedroom villa home.
it's like you want to come out poolside. You want to be
5
like,
bedrooms, 10 beds. No.
you want to be like, bro, we're staying in some fly ass station right now, and we're gonna do a podcast episode from there, guys. So for all of
Yeah.
you, be prepared for some content out of Miami. Maybe we should live stream out of Miami. We got the mobile setup. We have the laptop, the mixer. We got some microphones. We got Richie on the beats. DJ Rizzy Rich.
Rizzy Rich.
That's actually a very novel new name. Like, there's no DJ with Riz. There's not that many DJs with
I'm sure
Riz.
there are, but so Rizzy Rich. There might be one already taken, but so.
He could spell it differently, like 2
Yeah, that's
inches,
true.
like 2
3
C
bedrooms,
or
2
2
beds,
inches.
2 baths, 6 guests. So
Rizzy
6
Rich,
guests.
DJ, and then DJ Rizzy Rich gets on the
Oh,
beats,
fuck.
and I get on the microphone and I start rapping.
1,700 for a 3 bedroom, 3 bath.
Richie, are you
6
down to
guests.
DJ? I'll be Biggie Smalls. You be Biggie Smalls DJ. I'll teach you how to scratch. I'll teach you. Wouldn't it be nice to know how to DJ? Then you can make money, go like DJing for bar mitzvahs. You know you like that, Richie. It's not a funny idea. It's a real idea, bro. It's a real idea. Stop saying my ideas are funny. My ideas are not funny. They're good. DJ Rizzy Rich playing at your bar mitzvah near you.
2 bedroom, 3 beds.
I only say bar mitzvahs because apparently they're fucking very lucrative as a DJ. Like if you have like every pop song on CD constantly, and you could just whip it out, they're like, "Can you play this song by?" I don't even know who the fuck. Dua Lipa or whatever. Like, I heard she's pretty cool.
Well, she's a Balkanoid, so of course you'd be interested in her. 2
The
bedrooms.
fuck was that? She's a Balkanoid, so of course you, Christopher, would be into this because you love them Balkanoid.
Well, just like Slavs in general.
I do like Slavs,
Yeah,
yeah,
there you go.
I like honestly, I'll be honest. I like all white women.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
It's not that I had too much of a preference.
it's just that those are the ones most prominent.
Well, it's also like it's the devil you know, right? Like no
Okay.
matter what kind of white woman that I romantically engage with, I think I can know their culture very deeply
Yeah,
because I was like very immersed in all sorts of white culture growing up in New York City. You know, also black culture and Latino culture and.
how do you feel about a place with a hot tub and a fire pit?
Wow, I feel so negative about that. I don't know.
Why?
It sounds
Fire
great, dude.
pit? What?
Sounds awesome. Like I don't know. Like,
I don't know. I'm
what is
just
it?
thinking. Let's see, 6 bed, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths,
Either way, it's gonna be like $2,000, give or take a few.
2.3
Yeah.
grand.
Yeah. If there's 6 of us, that won't be that bad. That'll be just the same as a hotel room, honestly.
Right, because
Especially for 7 nights, that's like not bad. Because like
let me see, 7 nights. This is basic math, but I'm too high and drunk. Yeah, 400 per person for an entire week, or for like
that's
5
fine.
days.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
But let's also keep in mind that the price could fluctuate. So let's realistically set a point where we think we would actually book it. I think it's gonna be like late July.
yeah. We should
like
book it early.
early August or late July. I think early August. So let's set a deadline. By early August, we have to get the final head count. We have to finally figure out who's actually
Yeah.
going to come, and then we'll book it. Early August. Also, this will be my birthday week.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, it has a grill. We could grill.
That shit's gonna look way different in person.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
It's just gonna be super hot, and we're gonna be like,
Yeah, we didn't want to stay inside. We just want to stay in the AC. Yeah.
yeah. Let's keep that in mind. But the hot tub at night will be nice.
Yeah.
So in the daylight, it doesn't matter. But they gave us Uno and trading cards.
Wow.
So this will be our baseline. Like something like this is what
That'd
we
be the
want. We
dream.
may not get this exactly, but let's get something like this.
Let's cram 6 people. Actually, you probably could. 6 people into a rental unit, into this.
Yeah. Who would you invite though? After 3 of us, there's Yumi, Richie, John,
Yeah.
and 2 more.
My Val.
Val.
Yeah.
She wants to come. Does she
Yes.
still want to come?
Yes. She will want to come the entire
I
time.
don't know, man. Like
What? No girls? That's
no,
fine.
It's not no girls. It's just it's the responsibility thing and the
Oh, yes. That's true.
and the light. Do you think they can handle it?
That's a good point. I have to think about it more.
Yeah. I mean, I trust your judgment.
Yeah.
But you'd basically be being like a like a handler. Like
That's true. You're right. It would take. Whereas without her, it'd be a lot easier
to
to.
do whatever the fuck.
You're right. It's like, oh, I have to watch her to make sure she's okay.
Exactly.
Whereas if it's with the guys, we can just go do something, not
All right,
even
so
anything
let's say
unfaithful.
let's say Val is a possible.
But you're right. Actually, yeah, probably better to keep it all friends.
No, I mean, let's say Val is a possible one, but if there were 2 extra ones, who would
Yeah.
you pick? If there were 2 extra spaces besides Val,
I don't know who else I'd want to pick.
let's think about that.
That is a good one. Yeah.
I mean, we could bring along.
How about an apartment in Little Haiti, 2 bedrooms? Just be surrounded by Haitians, and Richie will go insane.
Then again, if it is just the 4 of us, it would also be smaller expenses, right?
That's true.
Then we wouldn't need 6 beds. Then we would only need 4.
Yeah.
And then if we did that, fewer expenses means more mobility. We'd be able to move or get around a lot easier. Is it cheaper with like less beds?
Yeah, of course it is. Do it in a building where we can have 5, no homo, 5 guys in one. That would be cool to be in a building like that, like an apartment building that has amenities in it.
Let's find 2 more. And if we can't find 2 more, let's just keep it to the 4 of us.
Yeah.
And that's it. John will take a car. I'll take a car.
Yeah.
Do you think John's capable of renting a car?
Yes, definitely.
All right. So if we could get the people head count by late August, it'll either be 4 or 6 probably. I'm stoked. All I want to do is just spend a week not worrying about anything and just doing
That'd be great.
everything I fucking want to do. It's like, honestly, bro, I just want to nap on this beach right now while the
Yeah.
sun goes down because I won't get sunburned and it feels good. The weather's nice. I'm drunk as fuck. You're drunk. You've got this random bitch that you're talking to. Let me just sleep here for like an hour and wake me up. Don't leave me here. I think I want to do shit like that. Because that sounds nice. Because it's been a long time since I just didn't give a fuck about anything for the day, It was always some shit with my bullet journal. I'm always like, oh, I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I gotta get my journal in. I gotta update my bullet journal. So it will be this Miami trip will be a very nice period for my brain to just not give a fuck, you know. Wouldn't you agree?
I do, yes.
And if we had like a whole crib to party in together at the end of the night. What we'll do is during the day, I'll drive to a destination and say, all right, everybody load up into the car. We'll drive there, unload, meet back at the car by this hour. However, wherever the fuck you go, however far you go, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And we'll just party at night, do drugs and shit. Do that trap shit.
It'd be great actually to have a really rundown place that we're staying at. Like if we were just had like a trap house,
Like by the beach, like a
yeah,
by the
like a
beach.
beach shack, yeah.
And then we just party like surfer dudes.
Yeah, that would be a real dream.
Yeah, that'll be a real. Where are we at time?
2 hours.
It says that.
Yeah,
It says
it is 2 hours now. 2 hours.
All right, perfect. So I just want to say thank you to everyone listening, and I hope you stay tuned for more cool stuff. I also hope you generously donate to the Patreon so that we could fucking. I don't know. I gotta figure something out. I gotta attract more subscribers, more viewers, so that I can earn monetization abilities. But I have some ideas. All right, so actually, I'll run this by you before we end the episode. Like, because I'm about to reach like 150 subscribers, so I want to like do something for the people, and I want to do a video essay. Help me write it. I'll narrate it, edit it, release it, and it'll be a nice way. And if it's something good, and I think we could do something good, you know, like. There's a lot of things out there to write about, you know. And if we make it a regular thing, we could do like a special, and I'll have we could take time on those. It doesn't have to be like crazy and stuff, you know. It doesn't have to be on a deadline. What do you think?
I agree. I think it's a great idea.
You know, wasn't Letterman the one who invented the top 10 or the listicle kind of things? That format?
Probably, I had totally forgot now.
He's like, these
If
are
it's not-
America's top 10 vacation locations, you know.
Maybe I wouldn't know.
Number 10. And it's such a winning model, but we could do a little better than that. I think I'm good at writing an essay. I could structure it and format it.
Yeah.
Necessary footage. Edit it together. So, yeah, I just want to say thank you to all for listening.
Thank you all for listening. Thank you for joining us. I want to say I am gratitude for being here, for everyone on the podcast, listening, watching, for Richie. How about yourself, Chris?
I love this shit, honestly. Like, it's grown to this point where I've really fallen in love with this process. Just meeting, eating, drinking, chilling. It's like we're around a campfire, you know?
Yeah.
It's like we're chilling around a fucking campfire, except our campfire has like music and media, and we could pull up whatever we want and watch whatever we want. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fucking chill. I like it. I dig it. It's a nice vibe. So it's cool that even a few people can join in on this cool vibe. Like, seriously, we got a cool fucking setup at this point. Like, if I was a kid, like 13 years old, you told me I would like have a setup like this, I would be like, yo,
Yeah.
that's cool. So, good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Stop recording.